This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of July 14th, 2022. I'm Alex Brown. Columbus-based Cummins announced today Tom Linebarger will step down as Chief Executive Officer on August 1st. Jennifer Rumsey, who currently serves as President and Chief Operating Officer, will be promoted to President and CEO, becoming the first woman to lead the company in its more than 100-year history. Linebarger will remain as Chairman of the Board and serve as Executive Chairman, working with Rumsey on specific initiatives, including the company's planned $3.7 billion acquisition of Meritor in Michigan, which is expected to close at the end of the year. Terre Haute-based Hallador Energy Company is reopening the Freelandville surface mine in Knox County. Hallador says its subsidiary Sunrise Coal will begin mining activity immediately and is looking to hire 200 new employees for underground and surface operations. A new list created by CNBC shows Indiana's ranking among the best states to do business has improved 5 spots over last year. The Hoosier State comes in at number 14, with high scores in several categories, including infrastructure, cost of doing business, and cost of living. North Carolina ranks at the top of the list. Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand is made possible by the following.
IBJ Media delivers business news covering central Indiana and the entire state. The Indianapolis Business Journal and Inside Indiana Business are now part of the same family. Look to the IBJ for in-depth coverage of central Indiana's business community and tap into Inside Indiana Business for stories that extend throughout Indiana. 2 resources, unlimited business insights that help you stay informed and get ahead. Learn more at ibj.com and insideindianabusiness.com.
Schools across Indiana are struggling to fill open teaching positions ahead of the upcoming school year. Inside Indiana Business reporter Wes Mills has the story.
There are more than 2,300 open teaching positions statewide, according to the Indiana Department of Education. The state agency's online job board shows an additional 1,300 open student support positions, including school counselors, classroom aides, and cafeteria workers. Tim McRoberts, who is the Associate Executive Director of the Indiana Association of School Principals, says low teacher pay is a main driver for the shortage. He also pointed to a low appreciation for teachers and a need to address educator workloads. The need for both teachers and support staff are especially bad in rural parts of the state, he continued, noting that the farther a school is from a major urban area, the harder it is to attract teachers to come there. Indiana lawmakers will weigh teacher pay and school funding when they rewrite the state budget in the 2023 legislative session. But Keith Gamble, president of the Indiana State Teachers Association, emphasized that increasing teacher pay alone will not help recruit and retain more educators. Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A site in Shelby County is one of 4 selected for waste heat to power projects being developed by Kansas-based Tallgrass Energy and Houston-based Canaan Energy. The developers say when complete, the Indiana project will create enough emission-free energy to power more than 8,500 homes annually. Canaan Energy says the WHP projects will capture heat that is a byproduct of industrial processes and converts the heat into electricity with no additional fuels. 3 other projects will be constructed near Dayton and Columbus, Ohio. Construction on the projects is expected to begin in 2023. Former Indiana Congressman Pete Visclosky watched with delight and a bit of relief as dignitaries hoisted long-handled hammers to drive gold-painted railroad spikes into a ceremonial section of trail during last month's official launch of the South Shore Line double-track rail project in Michigan City. Visclosky says decades of heavy lifting made the moment possible and will now spark additional investment in the region.
I tell people that 1.4, 1.5 billion you reference is a high number. That's a lot of money. That is the tip of the iceberg here.
The former 18-term congressman, now chairman of the Gary Chicago International Airport Authority, says he wants to mirror the multifaceted, multi-partner approach used for the South Shore projects to grow the airport. Future Pacers owner Steve Simon is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.